All right, folks, good afternoon. Welcome to our primary live trade brief. If it is 1 o'clock on the East Coast down here in Florida, it is Wrath of God weather outside. So if it gets a little dark in the background, literally just south of me by about 5 miles is Fort Lauderdale International Airport, and I can see this massive microburst coming down and seeing like aircraft waving off and stuff like that. Very, very dangerous flying through a microburst. If you know about the, what was it, Delta 190 or something like that, trying to land in Fort Lauderdale, ugly. So I will stay with us. Yeah, good day, everybody from down under. Graham's down there. We got a lot of folks down in Australia, and a lot of good stuff to talk about. This very tactical market, folks. I mean, an hour is forever in this market from what is it, Larry Kudlow trying to come out and be the market whisperer today, and that worked for a little bit, and then it faded. We are kind of sitting on the precipice here. So, all right, so welcome aboard the primary live trade brief. This is open to the public. Why? Because yesterday at this time, actually up in Boca, we had Wrath of God rain, and the system clicked on and off, and it didn't record. So I decided to be a nice guy and open this up, the primary live trade brief, to the public, mainly because this is what you're going to get access to if you join at the end of our brief. Welcome aboard to all the folks that joined yesterday. Really good, good crowd that joined us yesterday. Just a quick review. Here's what you're going to get access to. This is a longer brief. Yesterday, weekly options is every Monday at 1 o'clock. We looked at getting short volatility yesterday, and I'm looking at getting shorter volatility today in this portfolio. Some folks just have access to the primary live trade brief from like a Black Friday promo or something a year ago. So that's why I'm looking to get short volatility in this. We're going to talk about our Visa position, and we're going to talk about it a lot. We have a lot to talk about today. So weekly options was yesterday at 1 o'clock. Today is the primary live trade brief at 1 o'clock, and we usually go for an hour or an hour and a half. So really looking forward to today's session, and at the end of this is when I'll tell you how you can get on board. Hopefully you've heard this from me before, even if this is you're not a member. Trading's combat, folks. It's a form of combat. There's a winner and there's a loser, and you want to be on the right side of that trade. So why wouldn't you use the same methodologies that kept me safe over the skies of Iraq, right? Well, you would. That's what you think you would do, or I think people would do. So this is why I came up with this joint kind of brief. A lot of folks in our last full throttle said, hey, I just, that's a lot to bite off at one time. 4 live trade briefs a week, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way I can have a buffet, right? A buffet and kind of a la carte. So this is the a la carte that a lot of you have asked for, access to weekly options and the primary live trade brief. So what are we going to do today? It's every Tuesday at 1 p.m. If you're a beginner to intermediate, this is right up your speed. Obviously, if you're advanced, you know what you're talking about, and this is definitely for you as well. So and I'll just do a quick intro of who I am. Then we have a lot to talk about. India with closing Kashmir, Hong Kong. I'm trying to follow on my other screen and in the other room what's going on with the protests. If that turns into Tiananmen Square, the Dow's going to be down 1,000 points, and the VIX will be up at 40 or 50. Why? Because if they go full crackdown on Hong Kong, they're going to invade Taiwan very soon after that, and the world's going to turn into a really bad. We're going to take a look at our current positions. Like I said, we'll take a look at Visa. We'll take a look at the short volatility trade I already sent out via text and email, and we're going to take a look at CSX. We had a great CSX trade. Bearish. It was a burner trade. It was so bearish on CSX, and this thing ended up pulling in when I closed it yesterday about a total of almost $10,500. I mean, hell, the puts alone were up $6,000. Awesome, great trade, bearish on CSX, which net is good, but it's kind of medium because we're long-term bullish on CSX. But that kind of shows you how we trade here at Top Gun Options. We can be long-term bullish on something. And I'll tell you why I'm long-term bullish on CSX, but then we can be short-term bearish on it, right? And make some money. So we'll take a look at our current trades. We'll take a look at some new tactical trades, and I'll let you know how you can join the joint weekly options and primary live trade brief. Already sent out a text alert. This is what you get when you become a member. This went out at 10:52 You can see it right there. I just took a screenshot of my cell phone, 10:52. So this is what you get. You get a text alert, and then you also get what? You get an email. You're going to get an email. Let me bring up the email real quick just to show you what it looks like in my. Hey, did everybody get the sit rep? Everybody should be getting my daily sit rep. It's a free. I think today's video is about 12 minutes. Great content, folks. Everybody should be getting the sit rep. If not, you're not signed up for it. Let me give you that link real quick. Go to topgunoptions.com/sit rep. Okay. Let me grab that. So, and you got to click on it, folks, because if you don't, Google or whoever your internet provider is says, they're not looking at this content. I'm going to start hiding it from them, which is not good. I can't stand limousine liberal tech companies. And they make me furious. So, okay. Yeah, I know, Kevin. I'll talk to you about the title of it in a little bit. The title of today's sit rep is Brokers Think You're Stupid After They Got Wiped Out. I was only allowed to place half of my trade today on short volatility. Why? Well, we had a lot of people get wiped out last week. Good. That's fantastic. Are you wishing will on other people? No, I'm not. Life's tough. It's even tougher if you're stupid. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So last week, we'll brief this more in detail in a little bit, but last week, the market's absolutely calm. It's eerily quiet and everything's fine. And, I'm going to short volatility. A lot of traders, JJ Kinahan, people are short in vol. I'm like, they're all stupid. They're all idiots. Wednesday, Jerome Powell speaking. He's going to let the market down. And we're also meeting with China, and that's going to be awful. And guess what? Yeah, no, a lot of people are writing in the chat box they couldn't even place the trade. Isn't that ridiculous, folks? So a bunch of stupid people get wiped out, and when you want to potentially make profit, they're holding your feet to the fire. Like, dude, what did I do, man? I didn't do anything wrong. So real quick, ladies and gentlemen, quick intro, because I know a lot more new people are in here right now. I'm Matthew Buckley. My call sign's Wiz. Flew the Hornet, 15 years to the Navy, graduated from Top Gun. Looking forward to the movie coming out. One of my buddies did a lot of the flying scenes, and he actually got to fly some of the crew or cast. He said he didn't fly Tom though, but anyway, went to Top Gun, did some cool stuff. I know if any of you know your flags, what flag is this? That's Pakistan. So I flew into Mazroor Air Base in Karachi. I got to fly in an F7 over Pakistan, the scariest flight of my life, because this guy was trying to impress me with how low he could fly. And it scared the hell out of me. I almost died. And looking at the ejection seat in this thing, it looked like it had like bottle rockets underneath it. So I know a lot about the region, and that's a potential flashpoint right now. I got to fly with the Blue Angels, was a landing signal officer, and flew 44 combat sorties over Iraq. Taught myself how to trade, right? We had a great week last week. And I'm not, it ain't rocket surgery, folks. We had nearly $23,000 in profit on bullish and bearish trades, man. The 5 of those trades. So the max risk was about 50 grand, right? 90% return on risk. We had an absolute blast. So all the headlines last week were, worst week in the market year to date. It was our best week in the market year to date. It was fantastic because we know what we're doing here, right? When everybody's wanting to go short volatility, that's when you get long. It's just, who was it? Larry yesterday said something like, I was embarrassed. Or, that's what he said. Larry said, I didn't have the heart to tell all my friends I made money last week because over the weekend, everybody was talking about how they got wiped out. So, all right. So I applied everything I learned flying a fighter jet to my trading. I popped up on the radar of one of the largest options trading firms in the world. I built a hedge fund. I helped build a retail brokerage firm called Options House. And I was the managing director of strategy for a multi-billion-dollar vol arb firm. And I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network, ONN.TV. Went from me starting the company to 80,000 traders and investors in a year. Had an absolute blast. Felt like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places, kind of being, I'm a little lowly retail trader and went up to Wall Street. And guess what? They ain't that special, man. As a matter of fact, the more I poked around the smart money on Wall Street, they ain't that smart. So anyway, exactly, Jose. Hey, Amazon, we had a good solo session yesterday afternoon. Jose, markets go up, markets go down, man. Amazon's a steal at this point. So if you think things only go up, you got problems, man. You shouldn't be trading. All right. So, yeah, separate service. We can talk about that offline. There's my squadron. That's when we were up in Chicago. Matthew is 19. He's going back to college unfortunately in 2 weeks. He's going to be a sophomore at the Military College of Vermont. He wants to be a Marine fighter pilot. We were up in Beaufort, South Carolina, with one of our TGO members here that I went through Top Gun options with. Shrek, great American. Dude's going to be the commandant of the Marine Corps if I have anything to do with it. Or actually, he probably doesn't want to hear that because then he won't be. So Matthew wants to fly for the Marines. Jack apparently is more retarded than my son Matthew because he wants to drive boats for the Navy. He wants to be a surface warfare officer. And then my daughter Keely's 11, and she's not allowed to leave the house until I'm dead. Okay, so that's who I am. Top Gun Options. Been around for about 10. We're going on our 10th year in business here. And there's a reason that we've been around 10 years and other people come and go is because we know what we're doing and we're open and honest and got the integrity. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's get into the meat of the presentation. I'll tell you how to join at the end because we have a lot to talk about. This is why I say it's a very tactical market right now. This was the headline last Monday in the Wall Street Journal. Markets are eerily quiet right now, and guess what? Some investors are betting the current period of calm will persist. Some investors right now are not investors anymore. They're broke, and they deserve to be. Here's what happened. Right here, that article came out, and right here I said, get long volatility, guys. I didn't say that right here. I've been saying it all along. We'd see a nice little pop, then we get bearish on volatility, bullish on volatility. Write this down, folks. When volatility is cheap, you buy it. You get long. When vol's expensive, what do? You sell it. You short it. But these jackwads in this article, scroll down. I think, the VIX is going down. Everything's fine. Nothing could go wrong. This is why we trade the way we do, folks. SOT, strategic, operational, and tactical. You have to know what's going on around the globe. You have to know what's going on around the United States. You can't just sit here and short volatility. So this whole article about people, hey, I'm short and vol because I'm smart, and I want to pick up a couple pennies in front of this steamroller I'm playing in front of. Dude, your cape's going to get caught. I love the end of this. Still, some investors are betting on turbulence to return. With stocks near record highs and vol in markets dwindling, there's a risk that the Fed this week or the rest of earnings season will spur a pullback for equities. After I read this, you can watch the replay from last week because I watched it. What did I add here? I'm like, they're missing the biggest point as to why turbulence might return. China. When this article was written last Monday, Mnuchin and Lighthizer were on a plane to China. It was their 12th meeting. The last meeting we had, the 11th, was right here. And what happened? Lighthizer, Ambassador Lighthizer, this is the president. What's going on? Well, they think Joe Biden's going to win, first of all, so they're going to not do anything until the election. And they think you're beating up Jerome Powell because our economy sucks. He said, what? Get on an airplane, we're done. So reading that article last week saying, oh, vol might return, or some dudes are thinking vol might return, is what? I said, dude, add China in there, man. And what happened last week? I'm not going to waste your time on this, but that's what happened. The Fed underwhelmed. The dude looked completely confused in his press conference as to why he was cutting rates. He actually looked like a guy that was like, you know what? We probably should be raising rates right now, but the president beats me up and the market beat me up, so I cut. Totally awful press conference, but we were hedged accordingly and printed money. So, and then obviously last week also another dude said, hey, the stock market could be in for a VIX explosion. I'm telling you, man, even if you don't become a TGO member, remember this the rest of your life. Anytime you see a Wall Street Journal article or hear a bunch of quote unquote smart dudes or ladies shorting vol, here's the last time there was a vol can never go up and I'm printing money. Look at this. Freak out, it went away. Freak out, it went away. Freak out, it went away. Kind of calm. All right, it's cool to short vol. And everybody got wiped out who was short volatility. Freak out went away, freak out went away, freak out went away. Hey, let's short vol, boom, wiped out. Dude, this isn't tough, folks. The only trading software you need is the 7 or 8 inches of gray matter between your ears, folks. This isn't this isn't tough. Shorting volatility on a week where, folks, the Fed's rate cut was in here, man. The guy testified in front of the House and the Senate a month ago and said what he's going to do. Here's a Wall Streetism you have to write down. Buy on the rumor, sell on the news. That's exactly what you do. The market bought Jerome Powell saying, whoa, raise interest rates? Nah, man. Boom. And during the press conference, he said what? We need to be data dependent. What's that code word for? Well, if he's data dependent, the data are good. Did you see the jobs number? Did you see the GDP? Did you see last week's consumer confidence number? I look at all the data, folks. I brief you every Monday. We start the week looking at what is on the flight schedule for this week, what macroeconomic data are coming out, and what's the impact. Also last week, what was it, Tuesday night, folks? The macroeconomic data out of China were weak, man. So Bullard states he might agree to one more cut for the year. Oof. That's pretty good. Bullard was a dissenter, right? Yep, so that's why the Dow's rallying here, folks. Bullard, so the vote was, there was 10 voting members, right? And Bullard, I forget the other one that dissented, said what? We should be raising rates. So Bullard just capitulated in his statement. I appreciate that, John. So we're going to see a little bit of a rally on that. But we'll get to what the Fed's going to do in a second. So that's kind of strategically where we are. It sucks to be here. I'm going to give you this analogy right here, folks. Not right here. I think I love being here. This is World War I trench warfare. That blue line, now yellow, is the 50-day moving average. The red line is the 200-day moving average on the S&P 500. I call this no man's land. The market does not hang out in here, folks. These two averages are magnets. We are this market has one choice right now. It's either straight up or straight down. These moving, see, look, we smashed through the 50 here. It went on a magnet back up. We chopped around and then what? Smash to the 200-day and back. The market does not hang out between moving averages, folks. Humans don't like it and the algos don't like it. So, this could be a dead cat bounce and things get worse, or, before I jumped on the air, I looked. There is a 74% probability of a half a point rate cut in a month. So past performance absolutely is going to equal future results in this example. Ready for this? Dudes, get on your plane and fly home. Screw the Chinese. I'm going to punch them in the face with more tariffs. Holy crap. What happened during the holy crap implosion here? Jerome Powell. I'm here, folks. Oh, you scratched your knee? Here's a Band-Aid. Let me kiss you on your forehead and give you a little pat on your bum as you go outside and play. And then what happened? Now what happened this time? The Chinese said what? Okay, get on your airplane again. Now, this one's a little bit more violent than that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you the Fed is the market, whether it's today, tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, sometime this week, the market is going to go, okay, Trump and Xi are back in their respective corners. They beat the hell out of each other for a couple days. Oh, there's a 74%. The Fed, let's not even call it 74. 74 is 100 in my mind. The Fed is going to cut 50 basis points in September. I'm telling you right now. Unless, obviously, walking out to the helicopter, the president goes, I just called G, we're doing lunch, and we're signing a trade deal. Obviously, that can happen. But it won't. But folks, look at this implosion here. It's this right now. So I'm telling you, I'm warning you right now, we could get one of these. I predicted this, man. This was a dead cat bounce. We went up, chopped, and then imploded. I don't know if we're going to go up, chop, and keep going because of the Fed, or we're going to – I'm putting a big question mark over here. However, well, then why are you short and vol, dude? Because we did it here, and it worked. Remember, when something is known, it's known. And in these next 24 days, what did the president Larry Kudlow did it this morning. Well, yeah, he sounded dovish. What did China do after they, so they devalued their currency, which is love or hate the president, folks. He's doing right by us. Obama sucked. Bush 1 and 2 sucked. Clinton's were sucked. Nobody's stood up to China. They've been stealing not only all of our intellectual property, but our cash. So, but at least the president and Kudlow did what? Hey, man, we got 24 days. Maybe they'll throttle back a little bit. So there is some daylight to make this kind of stop. Remember, man, back with the Soviet Union, we had what? MAD, mutually assured destruction. We all loaded up on our nukes, but nobody used them because we knew we'd all be dead. So hopefully this happens with, with here. And I don't want to use the word hopefully because hope ain't a strategy. You don't trade on hope. Even though the market trades on hope and fear, we don't. We use our brains. So here's what I'm trying to get at here. Central banks, we were bearish on Brazil last week. That trade hit max profit too. The EWZ, we often trade EWZ. If you're not familiar with that, write it down. We've been trading this since forever. EWZ is the Brazilian ETF. Okay. So last week, what did their central bank do? The same thing happened with Brazil. But he gave them a larger than expected rate cut. I'm going out to dinner tonight with close friends that live in the building across from me. She dated this guy. She knows the central banker of Brazil. She still talks to him. Brazil's larger than expected rate cut, a sign of what? They're going to cut more. So the president you can understand the guy's frustration with Jerome Powell. Mario Draghi in the EU is cutting rates. The dude's going to zero. I mean, in the Euro, in some parts of the Eurozone, folks, in Swiss, is it the Swiss? You give them your money for 10 years, you're going to get less back. That's what so let me get this straight. I'm going to give my money to the government because it's safe and they're giving me less back. Brazil cutting, the PBOC cutting and injecting capital, the Bank of Japan, Kuroda, Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda. It's a hopium smoke fest around the world, folks. Of course, Donald Trump's going to sit here and go, dude, what are you doing raising interest rates? You need to be cutting and cutting big. I don't agree with it, but hey, man, this is the reverse your mom and dad. Right now, everybody's jumping off a bridge. And if you just said, hey, mom, I want to go do it too, she'd give you grief. So, but guess what? If everybody's cutting, are you going to do it too? You have to compete. If you guys had been here during the election, you know that Donald Trump campaigned on what? Day one in office. This is his exact quote. I'm quoting him word for word. Day one in office, I will label China a currency manipulator. How many of you remember him campaigning on that? I do, because I follow this stuff to the minute. What did he do? A year and 3 quarters later, he labels them a currency manipulator. I'm not giving him grief for doing that. I'm giving him grief for not being honest about it. He kind of negotiated. This is a big deal, folks. This is a break glass in case of emergency. I saw somebody liken it to on the scale of 1 to 10 of retaliation, them devaluing their yuan like they did as much was an 11. Trump saying you're a currency, Mnuchin saying you're a currency manipulator is a 15. So that's why I'm saying I think the bloodiness, this 12th round of punching each other in the face will subside for a period of time. So that's why I feel comfortable getting short volatility. Britain, I love our cousin. They were stupid. They told the U.S. to pound sand. We're going to get a European group together to escort tankers. I mean, we're still buddies. We're still allies, but we're going to do it with Europe. Europe, we're a bunch of cowards. We need Iranian oil. We're going to placate them like Hitler in 1939. And so you're on your own, Britain. Hey, mate, can we join up again? Awful. Absolutely awful. But now we're semi friends again, and so we are joining up, the Britain and the U.S. Mike Pompeo, I saw him earlier trying to get a 60 nation. He's trying to build a coalition. This is going to come to a head. I've said this repeatedly. As long as you're going to be a member here, folks that have been here 10 years can say what I'm about to say. The market only cares when it cares. Right now, we're caring about a shooting in El Paso and not the one in Dayton, because the kid in Dayton was a leftist, Antifa, Sanders, Warren, socialist. So only the one in El Paso, and Trump's responsible for it. We're also caring about a trade war. We don't care about Iran and tankers right now until we care. Okay? Don't base your trading or your investing, ladies and gentlemen, off of the news. When it hits your eyes, it's late. That's why you got to be a member here, folks. I got a lot of intelligent sources. I know, or we predict stuff before it ever happens, mysteriously. We're already in stuff or doing stuff. If you're trading based on headlines, you're late. And I'm going to leave it at that. And they seized another tanker. The market will care about this. Now, this is a bigger issue. China warns Hong Kong protesters not to play with fire. This is getting worse. I keep watching the other TV in the other room to see if anything's going to happen. This is getting ugly. I think the protesters are obviously they're doing this on purpose. I think they're provoking a confrontation. Life ain't bad in Hong Kong, folks. This all started, a month, 2 months ago with the whole extradition thing. Back in the old days, maybe I knew somebody really, really, really well who got into a bar fight in Hong Kong. And before the Navy Shore Patrol showed up, he, really good friend of mine, was turned over to the Brits. But guess what happens now, man? You break the law in Hong Kong, they have the option to do what? Put you on a boat, plane, whatever, and get you over to mainland China, where you suffer under China justice. And guess what that means, man? That's bad. So the lady, the CEO, they do call her the chief executive of Hong Kong, said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. But kind of like Democrats and Antifa, you give them an inch, they're going to take everything. So the fact that she said, all right, we're not going to do that, now they're going like really pro-democracy. Could the military get involved? Yes. Will they? Most likely. Xi Jinping, the last thing Xi Jinping wants, and obviously China, kind of like since Google works for the People's Liberation Army, they limit what the people in China can see. If it gets wind throughout China that Hong Kong, who's now China, can do whatever the hell they want, and they're protesting and they got away with it, that Xi Jinping and the Communist Party there will not let this happen. Okay. Fred, that's close to what she said. She said that is dead. It's not going to be brought back to life. So she didn't say tabled. She changed her terminology and called it dead, meaning it will never happen again. So you and I can bicker and argue about that. The point is that she said it's not going to happen. So she didn't say it was tabled. She initially said it was tabled, and at a press conference, she said what? Well, okay, maybe you're right. I don't know if the legislation has been pulled or not. The point is that she got in front of a microphone and said what? She blinked. China don't blink. So, and she's a puppet for China. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this. My point being, just like Iranian tankers and flare-ups in the Persian Gulf, this is a potential black swan event. If there are tanks rolling down Kowloon in Hong Kong, HSBC's in Hong Kong. Do you know how many big financial firms are headquartered in Hong Kong? Half our employees were killed or are in jail, and they're not trading. You want to talk about, it's a Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns moment. Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns went to zero because of counterparty risk. Hey, did you guys hear Bear Stearns doesn't have any cash? What are you talking about? I have a huge trade with them. Hey, Bear Stearns, close that trade. Oh, shit. And there's a run on. So this, obviously, we care about the human rights here, but as traders, we also care about if a financial center has a Tiananmen Square crackdown, we will see a horrible reaction in our markets because of this. Goldman, man. Here's why I bring this up. They came out with a note today. They're done. They're like, nope, no trade deal before the election, and we're going to get 3 cuts by the end of the year. Why do I bring this up? a week, 2 weeks ago, they said the exact opposite. So if you feel every once in a while like, oh, you won on a trade, you lost on a trade, or I'm a little confused, this is Goldman Sachs, folks. They run Wall Street, right? Now they're done. So in the blink of an eye, they can also change their strategic mindset. But it's pretty funny. So I absolutely believe that Xi Jinping will not give Trump a trade deal before the election. Trump could get one. He's not going to do it. I've told you how many times as far as this, man. Guess what? I said, listen to the guy's words. Don't listen to CNBC or any of these folks. Listen to yourself or listen to me and then decide for yourself. How many times has the guy said, I'm tariff man? He's like, I'm fine with where we are. If we stay like this the rest of my life, we're winning. We're bringing a ton of money back into this country and we're sticking it to them. China is a disgrace. They're thieves. They're disgusting. They stole our Joint Strike Fighter under Bill Clinton. They stole 25 years of ballistic missiles and submarine technology. They're thieves, folks. They steal. Oh, and by the way, take a walk around our campuses and see how many kids are from China that go to school here and then go home. Come on, man. Let's wake up. U.S. stocks regain ground. Yuan stabilizes. Major indices rebound as investors see potential buying opportunity and bet. Here it comes, folks. This is where, when, not if, when we get a rally, a relief rally, it's going to be because the market wakes up to the fact that, holy crap, Jerome Powell really has to cut now. Does everybody understand that? So I get that we're still kind of hanging here. Yeah, exactly, Peter. They harvest organs and yeah. The atrocities at their prisons, they keep dudes in jail like Kamala Harris, and they steal their organs. It's a disgraceful country. Some of the Chinese people, fantastic, great, but their government is horrible. That's why you have to worry about what's going on in Hong Kong. And I'm not happy with the president, kind of with his smarmy, Xi's showing restraint. Dude, if they take Hong Kong by force and put down these protests, he will invade Taiwan. I know for a fact. What are we going to do? Are we going to go to war with China to protect Taiwan? What do you guys think? Yes, no? It says it on paper. And if we don't live up to our agreements, then what do we do? So this is what's funny, folks. More stock market volatility expected as U.S.-China dig in heels over trade. You ready for this? Look at this. This is today. More stock market volatility expected. What was this time last week? Markets are eerily quiet and investors are short volatility. This is a week, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Michelle, you don't think traders, investors will drive the market down when we get a rate cut because they see it as weakening economy? Nope. No. So, Michelle, that maybe last week I would have thought that. But now the market doesn't care. Now I know Morgan Stanley said yesterday, if this trade war goes on, we're gonna be in a recession in 9 months. Okay, really? Ladies and gentlemen, Jerome Powell at that press conference, like Mr. Magoo was, this guy turned into Mario Draghi 2012. Mario Draghi 2012 at one of his press conferences said what? I will do whatever it takes to save the Eurozone, the euro. Jerome Powell, his words were, I will act as appropriate to keep the expansion going. So, Michelle, I think you're talking about the Fred Sanford, the big, we'll grasp our, when this guy's out of bullets, if he keeps cutting rates, I mean, of course, he can always do QE, right? He can do what Ben Bernanke did, print money, add liquidity into the market. Hell, we could go to negative interest rates. But at a certain point down that timeline, Michelle, I think the market wakes up to like, holy crap, this is bad. Everybody at the same time has to wake up and look around the room and go, we're drunk. Folks, we're drunk. And the bartender's out. That's when the riot happens, right? Anyway. All right, so that's some Amazon stuff. So this is a binary trade right here, folks. absolute binary trade. And yeah, so I like the term continued volatility, but that also means what? Continued volatility can be this. What did I tell you is going to happen? I said, yeah, vol's going to go up and it can stay elevated. I made that prediction here. Vol's going to go up and stay elevated, and it did. Vol went up and we got a new resting heart rate of 15. It went up, bounced off of 15, bounced off to 15, held 15, and then this is where people started getting lulled into the, hey, everything's passed. So vol can stay elevated. The trades I placed yesterday and today are saying what? It ain't going to get back all the way up to here. Can it? Sure. Will it? I don't think so, or I wouldn't be doing it. Volatility, ladies and gentlemen, reverts to its mean. Whoa, look at this one. This stayed elevated, right? When was this, folks? October 3rd, Jerome Powell. I'm raising rates, and we're data dependent, and the data is good, so stand by. Holy shnikes, and the market imploded to the December lows. The Steve Mnuchin on the beach in Mexico with his wife calling banks around Christmas going, hey, do you need capital? Are you good? Remember that? That's Christmas slaughter. So look at this whole period of, hey man, and every one of these fallbacks of volatility was a Fed member going, what the commanding officer meant to say was this. So they kind of telegraphed we're going to sit on our hands or maybe start cutting rates. And this culminated in Jerome Powell more or less saying that. And then, okay. So I don't disagree that, because remember, folks, I told you yesterday, whenever you see the word volatility, cut, paste the word uncertainty. So if uncertainty remains between now and September 1st, the president has said, hey man, if China does something good, I can always delay him. He did that the first G20 summit in Argentina, remember? There was, I forget the timeline, it was like March, or like they were supposed to go into effect in March, and he said, no, I kind of like what we're doing. We're talking and we're moving positively. Steve Mnuchin, folks, said there's the last on meeting at 11 before the world ended, he said we are 90% of the way there. He more or less implied that they're talking about what salad dressing to have at dinner at the signing ceremony. Little did he tell us that the 10% that remained was the biggest part. Okay, so I don't disagree that volatility can stay elevated, but once something's known, it's gonna smash. Okay. Steve, that's what I'm moving on to, folks. We have a format here at Top Gun Options, man. SOT, Strategic, Operational, Tactical. I just gave you a strategic brief. I gave you an operational brief. Now we get tactical and trade. We're going to look at our existing positions, and then we take a look at new positions. This is why we call these a brief, folks. They follow a format. I don't get on the air and I just start rambling. There's a structure to all of this. SOT, Strategic, Operational, Tactical. So now we're going to take a look at what we did last week. And the week before that, and then take a look at current positions. So let me get a hell yeah, folks. If you were in, let's take a look at FXI. So FXI is the iShares China ETF. Look at this. We did a 42 and a half bear call spread to Friday. Anybody want to know how that trade's doing? Look at it. We were risking about 5 to make $2,600. Let me get a hell yeah if you're about to make $2,600. There's mine. It's up $2,300, 94% in a week. Leonard, hell yeah, there you go. So, but look at what I also did. I call this a burner trade because it's like my jet and afterburner. I was saying what? FXI is going to implode, and it's going to implode with some serious airspeed. This was Tuesday, folks. This was before they even met. They were on an airplane, and I said, it's going to implode. Right there, I said it's going to implode, folks, and we put on a burner trade that expires on Friday. So a burner trade is this. It was a bear call spread, and then I didn't get filled. I just showed you on my screen. I tried to buy some puts. You know what these puts are worth right now? Yeah, Salim, wow. Now look at what I did. I said buy 100 of Friday's 40 and a half puts at 15 cents. 15 cents. Let's take a look at Friday's 40.5 puts. $1.89. You ready for this, folks? Let's do the math together, public math. $1.89 minus 15 cents equals times 100. Can I get a hell yeah? Unfreaking believable. 17.4. 17. So that trade, that burner trades what? $5,000 or something like that. Unbelievable. Not really unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. I know I dropped to zero. 1740, guys. So on one bearish trade on China, folks, 1740 plus 2600. That's one trade. Actually, technically two trades. It was a bear call spread and buying some puts. But what am I showing you? And that was on limited risk. Limited risk. That's what? That's a public math. 80% return on risk in a week. $4,340. Now, I just showed you I didn't get filled on the puts, but a lot of people in the chat box did. Some people just did the puts. Some people just did the bear call spread. Yep, exactly. So there you go. Men line, numbers don't. And whoever just asked, yeah, I pound this thing. This is a dead cat bounce. FXI ain't going up anytime soon. And I told you about, I had two coaching clients, and who was it yesterday that did, are you in here, Matthew? Matthew did, where's Matthew? I don't think he's in here. This, Matthew posted this yesterday. Everybody look at this. Matthew made 18 grand, 18,000 bucks on his trade. He risked 6 grand. Is that insane? He's a TGO member. And I have a private coaching client, Amy, who made 17.5 on her trade with a double vertical out to Friday. Dennis just did the puts. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, 17,400 bucks. Sorry, Barney. I was thinking low. Yeah, guys, that trade, is 2,600 bucks, 2,600 plus 17,400 bucks. Sorry, that trade made 20 grand. It's been a long couple days, especially with all these free people in here. I covered a trade last week that was risking. Let's show you the risk, guys. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, no, I made about that much, or somebody else did. 20 grand. So the puts were risking. You see this right here, folks? The puts were risking 1,500 bucks. See that right there? 1,500 bucks was the max risk just buying those puts. What's the max risk in the bear call spread? 49.50. Okay, 49.50 plus 1,500 equals. That's a max risk of 6,450 bucks. Okay, 6,450 bucks. 6,450, and you could have potentially made 20 grand. Wow. Let me get a hell yeah, folks. If you just bought the puts, you made $17,000 in a week. That's why I'm telling you, man, people complaining about, it's the worst week in the market year to date. I'm like, it was our best week. And FXI is going lower. So there's at least two people I know that Matthew made 18, Amy made 17.5. Oof. So anyway, love it. Let me cover Visa because Visa is underwater right now. But what is one of the reasons I did Visa, folks, is because it's a month out. And Visa's actually having a nice recovery today. Okay. Kevin, that's exactly what I did. So the bear call spread, I brought in a credit and I bought the puts. So it's beautiful. So I'm cheap, man. So I brought in 2,500 bucks, 2,600 bucks with the bear call spread, and I used that to go buy some puts. Probably one of our best trades year to date, man. Anyway, so Visa last week we looked at a 180, 177.5 bull put spread. This trade is underwater right now. Guess what? It's got how many weeks to go? I did it on purpose out into the future. Why did I? Well, and for guys that are in this right now, I sold some short calls out to Friday. I sold the 172.5 calls out to Friday to make a little scratch, potentially bringing in $1,300 right here, $1,300. Everybody see that? Lynn, what if I have a small account and can't afford the risk of $6,000? Lynn, I can't tell you what to do, but guess what? An investor can do what? Scale the contracts, man. Don't do 150 contracts. Don't do 150 contracts. Do 75, do 10, do 0, do 1, do 1,000. I can't, everybody in here is different. So instead of buying 100 of these puts, buy 10, buy 50, buy 90, buy 7. I don't know. You just scale your account accordingly, folks. You don't. What you get here at Top Gun Options is you get to eavesdrop on me. It's rude. No, it isn't rude. I put the ladder down and I want to help people out. I didn't have a me, folks. I didn't have a Top Gun Options. I had to drive to the base theater since Al Gore hadn't invented the internet yet, and I had to, or base theater, the base library, and check out like Macmillan on option. I had to read. I had books. If I had a Top Gun Options, man, Jesus, I mean, I would have been flying. I would have bought my own F-18 to fly in the Navy. So what I'm saying, folks, is you're getting the eavesdrop on what I'm doing with a $100,000 model portfolio. And to be honest with you, at any given time, I'm only deploying about half that capital. Jeff, I don't know if you're in here. I remember our last coaching session. I said, hey, man, you need, or no, it was Brian. Brian's in my commanding officers club. I said, dude, he's like, yeah, I got a big chunk of money still sitting over here. I'm like, don't do anything with that. Keep 25 to 30% of your powder dry, and Warren Buffett these situations. When things are all like this, guess who walks in? Warren Buffett. Okay, exactly, Tim. So the return is the same. We're all going to have the same percentage return. If that bear call spread's up 94% for me, it's up 94% for you. There's just different profit. Jeff, you've been preaching this forever. Exactly. Lynn, sorry, my first time here. So the trade you provide is up to each individual to scale to their own risk. Exactly, Lynn. Like I said, but you got to get with your broker dealer or registered investment advisor. That's, what you do on your side of the computer is your own business. You guys are getting an eavesdrop on me. I cannot give you investment advice. That's not what I do. I'm here to train you. So you have to figure that out on your own. If I'm doing 150 contracts and risking $5,000, oh man, I only want to risk $2,500. Then you do 150, right? Exactly, Lynn. Perfect. Okay. Jeff, you share the idea in trades. We scale them appropriately based on our account size and risk tolerance. There you go. So Lynn, I'm going to teach you to have an SOP, a standard operating procedure, right? Hey, I don't want to risk more than this much and this, and I'm going to bail out of this trade at this point. Okay. So Visa, folks, the bull put spread I have on is a hold. I would absolutely hold. Let me bring up the chart. I love Visa, man. Look at the chart of Visa. This thing has been the gift that keeps on giving. Obviously, boom, everybody else dropped dead. But Visa's, look at the 1-year chart of Visa. Look at the 2-year chart of Visa. Look at the 5-year chart of Visa. The thing this is a gift. If you sign up today or you signed up yesterday, get in here, go to the member page, because I think it was a month ago where I put on a synthetic stock position on Visa, and you can do it. It's the same exact trade. Just scroll there. It is. Scroll down and watch it. Okay. We've also been printing money in EWZ. We've been trading a lot of the Brazilian ETF, like I said. And let me bring this up real quick. Yeah. Hold on. Month, year, today. Hold on. So EWZ. Let me bring that up. EWZ. It's the Brazilian ETF. We've been, and obviously their central bank. This is going to rebound again here too. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sit on my hands. I'm not doing anything in this. We got to wait. We got to see if this is if you're a cat lover, close your ears. But it's a Wall Street saying for a reason. A dead cat bounce. How high do they bounce? About that much, and then you could see something like that. Where did I just show you we had something like that? On the left side of the chart, man. Let me show you. Let's go back to it and show you. The last time we were here, folks, what did we do? Get on an airplane, come home. Screw the Chinese. Whoa. No, everything's going to be okay, and the Fed's going to help us out. That right there was a snapback, relief, dead cat bounce, and then we gave it back. There is nobody in this room that has a broker that lets you trade off the left side of the chart. Nobody. That's why I love people with this Fibonacci level and a head and shoulders with a candle cut, handy, candy, whatever. It's all bullshit, folks. Technical analysis. We used to burn witches too. You have to trade off the right side of a chart. Now, I get it. I'm a moving average guy, and obviously until the computers become self-aware, you can kind of if you use this as your main reason for trading, you're foolish. Period. There were people last week doing what? Going into this Fed meeting and China negotiations. Well, that's a double top and there's support here. And I'm like, are you watching the news? Are you listening to the dude's words? No. Well, I look at lines on a chart. Oh, yeah? So I will use technical analysis, but man, it is not. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, somebody said, yeah. Let me go over the new trade here. This is the new trade, and here's what's funny, folks. I wanted to do. I think the text alert I sent out had 150 contracts. I couldn't do it. They wouldn't. So here's what happened. It happened to me. It happened to Kevin, and it might have happened to some folks in this room. Here, let me bring it up on this page. So, because people were stupid last week, shorting volatility when they shouldn't have, this week, brokers are doing what? Robert made the full profit on Brazil. Nice job. Paul, I am going to close that trade. Yep, absolutely. Actually, let me put that order in right now. Yep. It's got another 3, 4. Here's one of the reasons why, guys, I'm going to have to go up a penny to get filled. There ain't no way on God's green earth that the FXI between now and Friday is going up $4, but it is tying up haircut. But I ain't paying a penny to get out of it, to be honest with you. So I'm done. Hold on. It says it should be 150. Close. I'm not clicking on that. I'm clicking on FXI. Hang on, guys. Close. 150, 150. There it is. But yes, go on, take the money and run. And it'll free up some margin. But how many of you have tried to Jeff, we'll talk about that on Thursday. We're not confusing portfolios here. How many of you tried to place this trade and you couldn't, or you had to place less? That's what happened to me, man. And guess what the answer was? Well, our risk department is, very leery about letting people short vol this week or now. I'm like, I felt bad for the dude I was talking to. He was usually the guys not usually, the guys and the gals on the trade desk are traders, or they used to be on the floor, and they're old and tired. Not old meaning mentally, not like age, but they put them. But he's like, dude, I get it, man. Last week was the week to be long volatility, not short. I'm like, yeah, this is ridiculous. So, well, Kevin, the reason the weekly options trade was okay was because when we placed it, what happened the rest of the afternoon? As the afternoon went on, we were down 950 on the Dow at one point. I thought we were going to hit 1,000 when we were in our solo Amazon brief. I thought it was for sure we were going to, but then it recovered 200 points. But what happened, Kevin? I helped build Options House, folks. I've been here in these meetings where you look at the overall vega of the portfolio and the risk of all your positions, folks. They know what you're doing. Maybe I worked for an organization that would monitor people's trades, and the really, really good people they reached out to, or maybe they started shadow trading those people. We'll talk about that over a drink. Wall Street's gross. Anyway, Wiz, what is the expiration day on the VXX 30 and a half? There is no 819 expiration. That's because you're not trading with E-Trade, folks. There is an 819 expiration. Let's do a little bit of academic training. Everybody go on whatever platform you're on and look at the options chain. Where's the damn options chain? Right here. So on E-Trade, folks, let's do a little training for folks that are new to options. When you see a month, a date, and a year, That is a weekly option. Weekly option, weekly option, weekly option, weekly option. Monthly option, monthly option. When you see just a year and a month and a year, this is a monthly option. That's a monthly option. So, ladies and gentlemen, your broker might not display it like E-Trade. When is the AUG 19 regular expiration? It is the third Friday of the month. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3. The 16th. So some brokerage platforms show AUG 16, 19. E-Trade doesn't. So there is an AUG 19 expiration. This is the legal way to do it, folks. I don't like brokers who put it as AUG 16th. This is the regular options expiration. Does everybody understand that? John, Visa was not. It's a bull put spread. I'll go back real quick. I'm not in the business of giving away a ton of our existing positions, but we have a bull put spread on Visa. I think Visa is going back up, and it expires at the end of the month, August 30th. This thing has plenty of time to be fine. Visa will absolutely rise again. So I'm not bearish on Visa. Absolutely not. I sold some short calls for the week to make a little bit of coin. So yeah. Buzz, is this like cost averaging down? Should we double the weekly options contracts? Buzz, I can't tell you what to do. These are two separate portfolios. The weekly options portfolio is separate from the primary live trade brief. This bear call spread on VXX is for folks in the primary live trade brief. If you want to double up, great. If you don't, not. It looks like volatility is starting to come in here. Let's bring up a VIX chart. And let's just see. I would have thought Bullard's comments would have brought in some vol today. Let's take a look at today. Hey, there we go. So volatility can be a momentum thing, folks. We're starting to go down here. Short calls on Visa where the 172.5. I wouldn't do those. I'd probably do the they're right here. I did the 172.5. I wouldn't do those. I do the 175s. Visa's starting to get on the run here. Okay. Let me go back. All right, guys, we're getting anchored. See, this is why there's 372 people in here asking about August 19th or this or the 30.5 strike. This is why I limit the amount of members that we have, because it can be. I don't like too many. We keep our trading tight here. Here's the trade, folks. Let me click analyze. Order ticket. So it's selling. I tried to do 150, guys, and they wouldn't let me do it. You can't short volatility. It's crazy. This is when you short volatility, you moron. If you short it last week and you got wiped out and a lot of your customers got wiped out, I'm glad they did, because they learned a lesson and they're not trading here. When volatility is expensive, which it is right now, we're going to short it. So I couldn't do 150 of these. So it's ridiculous. But so I got 75, selling 75 of next Friday, folks. One more time for the confused people. 1, 2, 3. The third Friday of every month is called regular expiration. Regular monthly options expire the third Friday of every month. So your platform might say AUG 16. Mine says AUG 19. We'll do it one more time here, folks, and then we got to move on. This is basic options, right? Go to make sure you got VXX up there, not VIX, okay? So the third Friday of every month is AUG 19. It's right there. These are weekly options. AUG 23rd, AUG 30. Those are weekly options, okay? So don't vol options expire on a Wednesday. Kevin, you're thinking about VIX. We're trading VXX. We're not trading VIX, folks. If you look across the top here, VIX is all sorts of weird, not weird, they're those VIX. This is the VIX, guys. Everybody sit up straight and pay attention, man. Like I said, at the end here, let me text Susie now. I want to make sure we're not putting too many people into this joint service, because it gets nuts. Okay. Hang on, let me text her. Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen. So like I said, I couldn't do 150, or I would have. It's not my fault that people aren't TGO members, but here's the metrics of this trade. If you do 75, you're risking $2,800 to potentially make 1,000. But here's what I do, folks, right? Here's what I do. Greg, it is painful. Trust me. This is why we don't open this. All right, so I would turn this into a burner trade, folks. I would buy some puts, kind of like I showed you at the beginning with the FXI trade. When you think something's really going to go down, sell a bear call spread like I did and buy some puts. I wonder if they better be able to let me buy some puts. I don't know if I have enough buying power, man. Let me try. I'd go out to next Friday. I think volatility is going to come in big time, man. Maybe buying, how many of these can I get? Maybe 30. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, good. I'm actually going to go more than that. This could turn into, because remember, folks, let me just go back to like a chart of the VIX or VXX. Volatility smashes. It goes up, and then when it smashes, look at these swings. Pop, drop, pop, drop, pop. This, vol comes in hard. And look at the VIX. We're down, what, 14, 15%? Okay. Down 15%. But let me scare the hell out of you, because that's my job as an options instructor. After the close, Donald Trump could go, you know what, I'm bored, I'm going to hit you with even more tariffs, or they invade Hong Kong. There is a distinct possibility that vol keeps going higher, stays elevated, or pops again. So don't sit here thinking this is free money, folks. The options market is not stupid. If you're thinking, I'm going to take a little risk and make massive reward, that doesn't happen often. That $20,000 that you could have made in a week on $6,000, it happened because we used our brain. Does it happen all the time? Nah. It could happen here if volatility smashes. If we get a Trump walking out to the helicopter going, you know what, I talked to Xi, we're going to go play golf. Good dude, we're going to figure this out. Market rallies and this thing implodes, we're going to see that. Okay. So let's go ahead and let me see how many of these puts I could get. But if you don't think volatility is going to come in, you don't do this. Let's see if I can get that many. Yeah, that really takes me to the edge of my buying power. So let me do this. I'm going to put it in an order to buy 50 of next Friday's 25.5 puts. Let me bring VXX up in the background. Let me minimize this. So what is it? 25.5. 25.5. So that's essentially me saying I think that VXX gets back down here to this 50-day moving average. Okay. Why? Let me repeat. I don't want to take up too much more airtime. Let me repeat why. One thing is going to happen, folks. I'm telling you, the market don't like hanging out in between moving averages. The algos don't like it, and humans don't like it. It's either going to do that or this. You saw that here, and you saw it here. So I am saying that I believe the market today, tomorrow, whenever it is, by Friday or over this coming weekend goes, you know what? Why are we freaking out about trade? Well, it's going to impact earnings. Did you not hear Jerome Powell? He's going to lower the hell out of interest rates, earnings. He's going to make money cheap again. Steve Wynn in Vegas is going to be able to borrow billions of dollars for a couple $100 million in interest. That's what lowering of interest rates does, folks. It's supposed to stimulate. Here, let me give you this little nursery Fed rhyme here. When interest rates are low, stocks will grow. When interest rates are high, stocks will die. You bet. I'll say that again. When interest rates are low, stocks grow. Interest rates are high, stocks die. Now you know why Trump's been pounding on the Fed. Huge, huge. Nobody does markets better than me. If the Fed was cutting interest rates, we'd have Dow. Dow would be up another 10,000 points. The guy's right. I don't believe with his premise of doing it, but the guy's right. Does that make sense? Okay. James, separate service. I'm not going to talk solo Amazon, guys. Way too many people in here confusing portfolios. Not going to do it. Lawrence, you could do 75 contracts and $1 wide. That's the way I trade. I like 50 cents wide on these things. Lawrence, if you're trading with a broker who is screwing you with fees and per contract, first of all, you're with the wrong broker. But yeah, then maybe you do $1 wide. So that's pilot and command decision. I'll teach you about that, and maybe you can make a decision. But for now, that's the main answer. So. Welcome aboard, Terrence. Terrence from Cordova, Tennessee. Terrence, I used to fly for FedEx, and my crash pad was out there in Cordova. He just got an annual. So the smart people are getting in and getting their joint thing, because we are gonna limit the size of this. So, yep. So hang on, let me. Yeah. So whoever's worried about hey, if I'm doing 150 contracts, I'm getting, they're taking me to the woodshed with. Per contract fees, maybe you do 75 contracts and go $1 wide. I would tell you need to go open an account at E-Trade, because they're not going to. So let me hit pay. So let me send that to everybody. Here's a link. If you use this link to open an account over at E-Trade and fund it, you're gonna stop getting screwed with that. Okay. Paul, I remember getting 16% interest on 3-month CDs in the 70s. Nobody was in the market. Paul, I remember that, man. Not in the 70s, but I remember times like that in my life. I remember driving on base in like 2003 at Naval Air Station Fort Worth, and our 10-year CDs yielding 6%. You get a free toaster. Yeah. So anyway. Well, Lawrence, it depends on your strategic mindset. If it's not about the commission, it is about the underlying. I don't think it depends on the movement. Remember, Lawrence, I like trading a 50-cent spread. Just think of a football field. It's 100 yards long. Me, I can put a bomb in a football field anywhere I want to, because it's huge and it's wide. It's a little harder to put a bomb in between the thing. So it's a matter of risk to reward, folks. A 50-cent spread versus $1 wide spread. There are pluses and minuses to it. It's the way you fly and fight your airplane. If you want to do $1 wide, knock yourself out. It's the same strategic mindset, though, right? I don't think something's going up, so you can do $1 wide. I can do 50 cents wide. Okay, so all right, yeah, and I'm going to teach you. Yeah, I mean, you can trade through an LLC. Hey Slash, man, I got your email. It's on my list to do to respond to it, man. Good seeing you again. Slash is another. And dude, we got FedEx guys here. We got active duty guys here. We got United guys. I got Phantom. Phantom's a 777 captain who downloads all the briefs and he watches them on his 18-hour flight from San Fran to Australia. We do text alerts around the world, folks. Literally around the world. We have 38 countries. Who are TGO members. Somebody just asked my rationale for the puts. My rationale for the puts, folks, is I call it a burner trade, man. I think volatility is going to smash. So there, I just fired the puts. I think vol's going to come in. I could be wrong, folks. Hong Kong gets invaded. Another tanker gets seized in Iran. Something bad can happen to keep vol up here or higher. I think we've had a flurry of activity from the Fed press conference to Mnuchin saying yesterday that China's a currency manipulator. I think things are going to calm for at least a little bit, and vol's going to come in. It can stay elevated, folks. I'm telling you, it's probably going to stay elevated. One more time, I'll say this. When something's known, it's known. When things are unknown, it's unknown. So if it's unknown, we're kind of we're going to do what we did here. Holy freak out, and we're still kind of not knowing what's going to happen with trade and anything, and okay, the Fed's going to save us. That's exactly what happened, folks. This is the last time Mnuchin and Lighthizer got on an airplane and left. Whoa! And we stayed elevated until when? Right around here where Jerome Powell said, I'll take care of everything. I'll give you a hug. So that can happen, but me buying those puts is saying, I think this thing's going to smash. The market, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do what? It's going to wake up to the fact that Jerome Powell, one more time, folks, the Fed funds futures rate is at 74% right now as I speak to you, that they're going to give us a half a point in a month, a half a basis point, bips cut in September. Do you know how bullish that is when the market wakes up to the reality of this? I know it stings right now. I know it stings. The market's going, what? Holy crap, a trade war. We've been in this thing for a year and a half, folks, 2 years. And now you're shocked that it's getting worse? Come on. The market is going to wake up to the Fed that what? That the Fed's got our back. The day that we really implode is the day we realize the Fed might say they have our back, but they're powerless and we're all going to implode. That's the Fred Sanford. That's the I'm coming, Elizabeth. That's the big one. Everybody understand that. If I enter the Visa trade and the MAB threes, and what happens to max losses? Judy, you should be on a brokerage platform where you can actually chart that out, right? If you're using E-Trade, Judy, you can go to that position, right? Hey, we're up 27 bucks. Vol's really coming in now. You can click on Analyze, at least on E-Trade, Judy, and hit Analyze in Trade Lab, and you can actually put in all the things you just asked me. Hey, what if the price does this or does that? So this is why I like the E-Trade platform. You can scroll down here, and you can go to town, man. Hey, what if it does this? Hang on, it's taking a second to build here. So what you just asked me, I could put in here and calculate stuff like that. I can't take up everybody's time. Not on mine out of the USA. Then Judy, you know what you do since you're broker. Whenever you hear the term broker, it means what? They're getting paid to do something on commission. Judy, I would pick up the phone and have the dude or the lady on the trade desk answer your question. Hey, what if it does X, Y, and Z? Because they're probably looking at these tools. If your platform doesn't have that, man, mine does. So I can sit here and fly out into the future in this trade, and hey, well, if Vega changes or Theta and stuff like that. So you need to be trading with a broker where you can see this stuff, or you can pick up the phone and do it. So it looks like VXX is coming in here, which is pretty cool. Let me bring up a chart of VXX, and then I'll get you the link in a second here, guys. So yeah, here's volatility from today, man. We're starting to do the slide for life. Yeah, Dow's up almost 200 points. So we might, and we're mid-afternoon. If this holds into the close, folks, you will see a lot of program buying into the close, and we're going to see a rally. So I'm loving it. Robert, yep, I have no problems with EWZ out that far. Their central bank, as I briefed earlier, what did I say? Their Jerome Powell said what? He cut bigger than expected last week and said there's more to come. EWZ is going to wake up to the, oh my God, our central bank is going to save us, and it's going to rally. So the puts are on VXX, folks, not FXI. The FXI trade was from last week that made $20,000, folks. Men line, numbers don't. That trade, bear call spread made $2,600. We'll make $2,600, and the puts, just buying those puts, made $17,500, man. Absolutely awesome. Good stuff. Let me clean up these columns. So, whoops, here's what we need to do. I just went open and filled. There we go. All right, so I will put this, I take a screenshot of this and I put this on our replay page so you can see everything that I did today and what's open and everything like that. So I'll put that on the replay page. I'll put the screenshots of the trades on there, and I will put desktop PLTB. And it takes, folks, it takes about a 30 to 45 minutes to render this recording, depending on how winded I am. And then it's all posted on there. So you can watch it / you can download these, and you don't have to be here for the brief. I sent out a text alert and an email alert to all of my members. So Doc, no, the FXI, I'll probably talk about tomorrow in accelerator retirement. I said I'm sitting on my hands right now with FXI. So you could have made 20 grand last week with our burner trade. I need to see if this is a dead cat bounce. One of the reasons, and we made, I got to calculate, we're probably up at about 30 grand in profits because we did iron condors before it imploded. This was what happened in here, folks. Why didn't FXI go down on bad news? The PBOC, the People's Bank of China, was doing what? Buying. They were doing QE, folks. Well, why didn't they tell us like the old days? Do you know why the PBOC is not announcing that they're injecting liquidity into the Chinese market? Because Donald Trump would push a Secret Service dude out of the way to get to his phone and go, ha ha, look at the Central Bank of China. They're flooding the market with liquidity because they're losing. Losers. I know for a fact. My buddy Macquarie told me, he's like, dude, the PBOC is keeping this thing up here right now. So, Doc, I need to see if the invisible hand of Xi Jinping jumps in here and says, if it doesn't, that's a dead cat bounce. So I'm going to give you my famous wizism. Give me a day or two. I need to see. I ain't catching a falling knife, and I ain't getting ready to pound that. With my luck, I get bearish on FXI, and the PBOC comes in and hammers it to the upside. Does that make sense? Rick, which lesson is it that you describe where we can research the information brief on? It's the first training session, Full Throttle. All right, guys, let me hook the folks up who aren't airborne yet. Okay, so if you, Tim, you captured Trump's playground behavior perfectly. Thanks, Doc. All right. Current members, you guys are cleared off. If you're not a member yet, here's how you get on board here. And we are going to limit the size of this because having 392 people in here is an absolute shit show. The max we have is 200. So 192 of you ain't going to be allowed to join because I can't. We don't pack you in here like sausages. I need to be able to answer everybody's question in a timely manner. And just we're not a zoo like all these other services. So here's what you're going to get with joint, weekly, and primary. You get access to the brief we did yesterday, which didn't record, and you're going to get access to our primary live trade brief, which is today. Okay. Don't like nuts to butts. If you bought each of these individually, it's $245. We're going to hook you up with $195. Okay. And it's really easy to remember. Just head to go.topgunoptions.com/joint. Smoka joint. So that's the link. Go.topgunoptions.com. Yep, I'll put it in the chat box for you. And we're going to give you an annual discount. If you obviously sign up for an annual, it's cheaper for you, cheaper for us, and we'll hook you up. It's $17.55. That's a 25% discount for an annual membership, $195 per month. If you can't see that you're saving, was it $245? Or was it you're saving $50? If you went to our homepage and bought these individually, you're paying $245. And I prefer you do that, but as a businessman, but as a good dude, I'll hook you up with the $195 price. Okay. Because you guys asked for this. A lot of you said, hey man, I don't have a full week to trade and do full throttle. Can I do a buffet? Well, walk up to the buffet, man. Here it is. It's open. Can't attend? You don't have to be here. Slash is flying. People are doing stuff, whatever. Yeah. I send out a text alert. Here's today's text alert. There's a screenshot from my cell phone at 10:52. 10:52, I sent that trade out. And guess what? I got the Gmail. I got the email immediately at the same time. In the past couple weeks, I've actually gotten the email before the text. Okay, so they fire simultaneously, man. There's the email that I sent out today. At the top of the email, I actually paste in the text alert. I don't know why I do that because what happens on the email? You get the damn image. There's the trade, and there's the analytics of the trade. Risk in 50. This is not the one I got filled on, folks. As I sent this out, remember, I have to send this out first. Before I try and get filled on it. Otherwise, it's front running, or not in the paper trading. But the point is that when I went to press send on this, it said, we can't. I picked up the phone. They're like, we're not letting you short that much volatility. I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I do this for a living, man. So I'll give you the monthly link for Full Throttle. The replay's posted 30 minutes after, maybe 45 minutes since I went a little long. Today, you're also going to get access to your flight manuals, man. You need these primary, intermediate, and advanced. These are $197. So you ready for this? You're making $2 today. If you went to buy these manuals on our homepage right now, they'd be $197 in the shopping cart. If you buy a month of this service, you get these manuals, so you're making $2. It's $195, so you're welcome. You can take that $2 and not get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Here's what you get. Access to our 2 live trade briefs, yesterday's and today. tactical trading and weekly options, and a little further out in primary live trade brief. You get text and email alerts. You get access to our Ready Room, baby. That's our online interactive forum where everybody just hangs out and shoots the shit and learns. And the 3 manuals. That's the bonus for today, $197 bonus. It is on the page. So here you go. Let me go to the page and show it to you. And I'll try and clean up with some questions here. We only go, the max we do in this thing's an hour and a half, man, and then we got to bail. Let me scroll up here. Fighting Marine Hornets tonight. Cheers. Slash, fly safe, my brother. Thanks, Harry. I appreciate it. Robert, if you want monthly full throttle, I'll give you that. Go to topgunoptions.com/getft. Yeah, if you're, God, don't let me stop you. If you want access to more services, I'll give you that link. So Robert, I'll give this to you. But so Robert's actually asking. So folks, the offer, I hate confusing people, but the offer I'm offering today is just access to 2 of our briefs. If you want the full Monty that we do here at Top Gun Options, I'm not going to confuse you. If this confuses you, you're going to be an awful options trader. This is access to just about everything we do. Or it is, except our solo Amazon. This is access to 2 things. Does that make sense? I don't want to really confuse people. You bet, Robert. All right, let me scroll up. Yeah, actually, somebody just said they're already making money on it. Well, there you go. It was up $65. So the market's going up, volatility's coming in. Now the Dow's up 240. Sweet. I told you, folks. Look at this. Look at the VIX. Now we're down 17% on the VIX. And when vol gets smashed, folks, now it's momentum. Look at that. We started this brief at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. What's vol done since we've been in this brief? It's down 8%. The VIX is down 8% since I've been talking. So yeah, you're welcome. Whoever just said that. Yeah, if your VXX trade's already making money, sweet. I'm up $65. Yay! I like it. So yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll put the screen back up here. Here's where it is. You get a discount of 25% if you do an annual membership. Yes, you do. All right, a couple more questions. I got to go because I got a lot of stuff. Dave, you're welcome. Tim, you captured Trump's playground behavior perfectly. You got it. Doc, I answered your question. Robert, I answered yours. Judy, yeah, you're welcome, Judy. I'm glad you're having a good time. Yeah, you bet. So yeah, the puts made $17,500 from last week, and the bear call spread that I'm trying to close is up $2,300. So yeah, folks, literally, and we did I calculated it. I showed it to you. The max risk in that trade with the long puts and the bear call spread was $6,500. And those 2 trades made $20,000. That's probably our biggest winning trade to date. So isn't that awesome? So the puts were out the next Friday, Owen. Yep. Dutch, hey man, good to see you again. Wiz, looking forward to rejoining the squadron. As I said yesterday, I plan on restarting my membership in a couple weeks in full throttle. Awesome. Hopefully the rate is the same. It depends on when you left, Dutch. Rates have gone up, man. I mean, that's, if you were a full throttle member in 2010, it was $495 for a year. Now it's $29.95. So, Ron, absolutely. Read through the workbooks, man. They're your manuals. They'll tell you all that stuff. But in a couple weeks, we're actually going to do some live classes. We do 8 training sessions that should help you out. So good swing in Visa today. Visa went from a pretty hefty loss. Now it's up $1,500. So like I said, I wouldn't do look, it's already up at 172.5. I'd do the 175 calls on Visa. And then one real quick last look at Amazon, up $2,100. Great time, folks. We're having a lot of fun here at Top Gun Options. You're not going to hear from me for a couple months, man. We need to get airborne. I need to focus on this stuff. It should sell itself. Okay. So yeah. At the beginning of our full throttle classes, I'm going to have the E-Trade folks come and give a platform demo. My son Matthew's going back to Norwich, I think this week, so I don't think we're going to do it this week. We're either starting next week or the end of August. Okay, probably the end of August because I'm busy heads down trading this week and doing a lot of coaching clients. A lot of the coaching folks that were on the 1-year coaching plan, they end in September-ish. So I will probably do our academic training the week after that. Okay. Make sense? Yeah, the platform I used way back was Trade Monster, then it was Options House, now it's E-Trade. E-Trade's bought everybody. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. I got a coaching session at 3. Good stuff going on, man. Markets rallying, volatility's going in as we kind of predicted, and trade's making money. Trade's up $65. Yay. Beats a stick in the eye, and I really think we're going to do better. Let me see if I got filled on these puts yet. I didn't. And those puts are making money, man. 5 times 3, $150 I would have made if I was in these puts already. So let me go mid-market on these. Let me go mid-market. Preview, send. All right, guys. Yep. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless. And Paul, give us a call. Here, let me give you the number. If you're not having a problem there and you want full throttle, 300-1084. So Paul, there's the phone number. Hang on a second. Let me just hang out. Which one are you trying to do, Paul? You know what? Just call Susie. Will take care of it. Full throttle max, and on the order page, just call Susie and she'll take care of it. Doc, up $200 on the put trade. There you go, Doc. Sweet. I'm going to try and get filled on these, man. Remember, if volatility's coming in, it's. Did I get filled on these? No. Let me get filled on these. But all right, guys, have a great rest of your day and welcome aboard to all the new folks. Thanks, Doc. I'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you. I gotta head out. God bless.